Hey guys, welcome back to the playthrough, and we're going to go ahead and open this door and get out of this house.
I unlocked the door.
Congratulations.
I wasn't looking forward to meeting Labano again, but he was my only link with
Well,
Nico.
Neither am I either, George, but sometimes in life you have to talk to douchebags. And a good old familiar sight from the first game.
When I got to the cafe, I decided to order a coffee and wait for him.
Yep, we spent quite a few moments in the last game here, so
I had no desire to go down into the sewers.
So it's getting close to where I got up to last time.
It was too hot to sit inside the cafe. Besides, I might miss Labano.
And this chap, I thought it did look familiar even before I talked to him, and it just happens to be the guy. I'll talk to the waiter though first, actually.
Oh, garçon. He ignored me. I'm sure it was deliberate.
Ah, schoolboy error, George. Call him garçon. That means boy. So it can be quite insulting. Better to use the less insulting le waiter or hey you. Usually works. Go on, I'll talk to him because I don't think he's got too much to say for himself. I think he gets you a coffee anyway first, or something like that.
Quoi?
See?
I'd like a cup of coffee if you don't mind.
When I finish serving this gentleman.
There you go, see? Hey works just fine. But let's go and talk to this gentleman.
Pardon me, but don't I know you?
Huh?
You were here the day I found the catacombs.
I was? Ah, yes. I remember you.
Yeah. Are you still in the police force?
No, not anymore. I'm a man of leisure. And what brings you back to Paris?
Well, you were a man of leisure while you were still in the police force. This old guy was a policeman who was sat here in the last game, if anyone remembers playing it, or indeed watching my other playthrough. He's got a very different voice this time around. Instead of being... He was quite a comical character last time, sort of like a drunk. He's got a very much more serious voice this time around. I'll just say we're waiting for Labano.
Waiting for an acquaintance.
Bon. And you have found another. Will you share a bottle of wine with me?
Hey, listen, I'd love to, but I need to keep a clear head.
So my company isn't good enough for you.
Oh dear, we offended him. I'll talk to him about everything.
Tell me what you make of this note.
From my years of experience, I gained a pretty good insight into handwriting. I'd say that note was written by a compulsive, obsessive type with an Oedipus complex.
Hey, you've got just about everything apart from the ponytail.
I tell you what, he's a lot better detective than the first game as well.
What do you make of this news cutting?
Orphanage supplied fast food chain?
No, it's the article above that.
Oh! Total eclipse of the sun. Well, that's very dull in comparison. I don't know anything about eclipses.
I'll show him the dart.
What do you make of this dart?
I remember a case where the victim was killed with just such a device. The poison acted in seconds, causing his body to swell up like an inflatable life raft.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of that James Bond film. Which one was it? Was it Live and Let Die? Roger Moore, where he blows that guy up by inflating him. Well, let's talk to him about
Have you ever heard of a Professor Oubier?
No, monsieur. I don't recall the name.
Well, apparently he's an expert on Mayan art and history.
A little out of my field of experience, monsieur. If he'd been a serial killer or a sodomite, I might have been able to help.
Well, we're not really in the market for an sodomite.
Un café.
Thanks.
I don't know, I can talk to this guy.
Look at this. A poison dart.
Ah oui, sure.
It's the real thing. Knocked my girlfriend out cold in a matter of seconds.
Romantic. Sounds like a real close relationship you have going.
I could do with a few of those.
Do you
Talk to
know
me
that
about the
man
old
over
fella.
there?
I should think so. He's a regular customer.
I should say, we're outside every time we came back in the first game.
Have you heard of Professor Oubier?
Oui. He married that actress, the little dachshund. They used to come here. The nutty professor and the movie star.
Ah, so let's come find out about his
If
wife.
Oubier's wife was a movie star, how come I never heard of her?
She was big in France. The world doesn't stop at Hollywood. Her stage name was Carol Climax. She died in suspicious circumstances.
Carol Climax, that sounds kind of like Blue, Le Bleu movie.
How did Oubier's wife die?
I heard he shot her.
And got away with it?
He had a good lawyer and a watertight alibi.
Oh, so the plot thickens with this Ubier character who Nico was going to visit.
Why would an eminent public figure like Oubier risk everything for murder?
He wouldn't be the first, would he? Besides, people like him always get off.
Okay, well, let's see if he knows Le Grand Douchebag.
Do you know a guy called André Lobineau?
Oui, I know him. What of it?
Well, I'm supposed to meet him here. Did I miss him?
No, I have not seen him today.
Well, that's it for this guy. So long.
all.
Thank you.
And he's here.
Well, this is a surprise, Georgie.
I wouldn't normally call you. But Nico's in trouble, Andre. Deep trouble. You have to help me find her.
What? What have you dragged her into this time?
It was you that recommended Professor Oubier as an expert on Mayan art. Now his butler's kidnapped her, and he tried to kill me.
Every time she gets involved with you, there is trouble. Walking out on her was the best thing you could do.
My father was dying, damn it. I had no choice.
Well, she soon recovered once she went back to her old friends.
Drop it, Andre. Right now, Nico's in danger, and we have to work together.
Alright, some nice
Well,
acting
how
here.
can I help?
Nico needed to speak to Oubier about a stone.
Oh, you mean this stone?
So, what looks like a fox or a wolf?
So that's what all the trouble's about.
Precisely. Nicole told me to guard it with my life.
Well, it's worth more than that, surely.
Oh, very
Ba-dum,
funny.
tsh.
What's funny is that your life really is on the line.
What are you talking about?
The stone is a Mayan artifact, dummy. And the guy who kidnapped Nico was from Central America. It was the stone they were after.
Oh my God, you mean I could be in danger too?
Now, with his track record, you'd think he'd want nothing else to do with the stone. Let's ask him about his pot.
What can you tell me about this pot?
South or Central American, I'd say. I have a friend who'd be able to tell you more.
Where can I find this guy?
He owns a gallery on the left bank, the Gliese Gallery.
What do you think this is, Andre?
I don't know.
I'll give you a clue. It's got more backbone than you.
You think you're amusing, don't you?
Well, it was a little amusing.
Does Oubier employ a guy from Central America?
Maybe. I don't know.
You never been to his house? I thought you guys were pals.
Fellow academics, Georgie. It's not quite the same thing.
Why didn't Nico take the stone to Oubier?
I don't know. Perhaps she suspected something like this would happen.
If she's been hurt, Andre, I'll break every bone in your body.
No, that's typical of you. Do you think I don't care what happens to Nicole?
It occurred to me that slugs don't have bones to break, but I kept that thought to myself. Tell me about your friend Oubier.
He's more of a professional acquaintance than a friend.
I see. So you don't really know him at all?
No, I don't.
Well, there's not much help on the Oubier front. What does he know about this
What do you
artifact?
suppose the carving on the stone means?
I don't know. I haven't shown it to anyone.
Why don't you just give it to me?
I don't want your death on my conscience, George.
Well, that's a lot more noble than you usually are, my friend.
Where did Nico get the stone?
It was sent to her.
From where? Who?
I'm not sure I should tell you.
Oh, you should.
It was something to do with smuggling.
Smuggling, yeah. Well, that's the lot for Andre.
Goodbye, Georgie.
Meanwhile,
I've had enough of your games, Kala. Tell me what you've done with my stone.
you know that guy reminds me of that lieutenant out of the police academy films.
Why are you
Was he
so
lieutenant
in that
or sergeant, whatever?
Either you tell me what I want to know, or Pablo here will make you talk.
Okay. Well, I figured someone at the university would be able to help. So I had a word with one of my girlfriends, and she told me her boyfriend was a lecturer. I sent the stone to the Department of Ethnology. You know, I figured it was South American, so... You're not buying this, are you?
That's enough. I don't have time to listen to your mindless prattle. We'll leave you to think it over. Come the morning, you'll be ready to talk.
He actually sounds more like the guy out of Day of the Dead. I forgot his name now. The guy who's in charge though of the military. Well, got some more things to talk to this guy about.
Why did you leave the police?
I was forced to retire. The golden handshake. Only in my case, it was more copper than gold.
How come?
I was made a scapegoat to cover up the department's inefficiencies.
Not the fact he was sat outside in front of cafes all day.
Yes, of course I do. When I wore that uniform, I commanded respect. Not anymore.
Nope. We'll pinch that thing off
I grabbed
him.
the flask and was struck by a powerful smell of absinthe. A highly potent and illegal alcoholic drink.
So we've got another item. We're racking up the items already.
It was the flask of absinthe I'd borrowed from the gendarme.
I'll just see if there's anything else to talk to this guy about.
Need anything else?
Care for a shot of absinthe?
Ah, no. I've seen what he can do to a man. Look at him. Just 6 months ago he was a gendarme. Now he's a barely coherent, bombastic fool.
He was like that last time I met him.
Yep.
That's all.
In fact, if anything, he's got more coherent than the last time we met. So...
Excuse me.
What?
What's that you're drinking?
It's wine.
The waiter said it's absinthe.
That fool wouldn't know pear no from cat's piece.
What does he know
Ever
about
heard
that
of
one?
Carol Climax, the movie star?
Yes, but I don't care for the kind of movie she's made. It's smut like that which has caused the moral decline of the Western world.
Is it true that Carol Climax was murdered by her husband?
First I heard of it. I thought she just retired.
Dunno.
I'm trying to find my girl.
Kidnapped?
Oh, he said he
It was our
kidnapped.
first day back together after many months.
That's too bad. My God, that's depressing.
That's another way to get him to put his head in his hands. To give the double face palm so he can steal his absinthe. That's it from the cafe. And this is
Now I had another lead. I could either go back to Ubier's house or visit the Glee's gallery.
Well, there's nothing at the Ubier house, I don't think, left to get, so it's the gallery next, I'm thinking. So we'll go ahead and go there. And it's a bit of a different way to get from place to place as well. There's no map.
The Glee's gallery had style and class, but very few customers.
Probably the expense, I'm assuming. So, what's he doing? Some random guy coming up and gurning at the window. Alright.
The girls were in a world of their own.
Can we talk to him?
Hi, girls. What's the joke?
I
I think they're Japanese, I think.
Okay, fine.
So, not much sense from those guys.
I couldn't believe it. The pots were marked at 5,000 francs each. As far as I could tell, the pots were almost identical to the one I'd found in Ubier's house.
Well, might be a good
It
place
looked like
to...
a witch and a headless bust. I had seen better.
I've had better. Well, we've come here, so I think I'll leave the video now that I've arrived at this point, and we'll come back later and find out what Mr. Walrus over there knows about this art, whether he's actually the owner or just somebody else who's a customer. That's all I've got time for anyway, and I'll see you guys next time.